I caught my wife with our driver at 11:42 p.m. You don't satisfy me, she said. So I bought her a brand new car, handed her the keys, locked it to guest mode, shut it off at the hotel, served papers, sold the car, and walked into a better life. I'm Mark, 32, living in Austin. Married to Jenna, 30, for 3 years, together for 5. We bought a small Craftsman on Holly Street. Sunday bagels, shared playlists, dumb inside jokes. I thought we were solid. Thought. Friday, July 18th, 11:42 p.m. I landed from a short work trip and grabbed a lift home because Jenna said she was too tired to drive. Our sedan was not in its usual curb spot. Porch light on. Her slippers are by the door. Keys gone. I checked the tile on the key ring. The dot pulsed behind the HEB on 7th. The parking lot was quiet under the orange lamps. I walked between rows of cars, listening to the hum in the wires above. Our sedan rocked once. Then again. I didn't think. I pulled the rear door open. Warm air, perfume, sweat. Hair stuck to lip gloss. Jenna froze, her dress bunched. Beside her was Diego, our part-time driver, hands up like a kid with a broken window. I kept my voice flat. Clothes. Now. Jenna blinked hard. Mark, wait. Diego tumbled out, mumbling apologies. I stepped aside. He jogged off into the dark, belt hanging loose, shoes scraping pavement. Jenna tugged her dress down and stared at the seat like it might explain everything. We need to talk at home, she said. We'll talk now. I slid into the driver's seat. My hands shook against the wheel. She buckled without being told. We drove in silence past the closed storefronts and sleeping bungalows. Saturday, 7:30 p.m., El Naranjo, our favorite. We had booked weeks ago for her promotion. I still went. I wanted her words to meet me face to face, not through a text. We sat by the window. A small candle flickered between us. She kept tracing a wet circle around her glass. Why, Jenna? Her mouth tightened. You don't satisfy me. Not emotionally. Not physically. I feel unseen. I watched the flame bend. Unseen? Check your wrist. The rose gold watch caught the light. 5th anniversary gift. She looked at it, and then away. Gifts aren't support, she said. I slid my phone across the table. On the screen was a clean list. Health insurance I covered after she quit her old job, $12,600 for graduate classes, $2,900 for her mom's dental emergency, and vacations I paid 80% for. Dates, vendors, receipts. Neat and boring and real. Support isn't just money, she said, but her eyes didn't leave the screen. I nodded. True. So let's talk care. I meal prepped when you had late nights. I waited outside therapy because you said the waiting room made you anxious. I learned your coffee order. Half CAF, 2 pumps vanilla, oat milk, extra ice, because regular milk makes you itchy. I learned the little things because you said the little things matter. She flinched at that last part. You're turning love into a ledger. You turned a marriage into a back seat. Forks paused at nearby tables. A server drifted close and then disappeared. The room felt small. I placed the phone on my side of the table again and folded the case shut. She swallowed. I made one mistake. You made a choice, I said. More than once, I'm guessing. She looked at the candle like it might answer her. I'm not happy, Mark. I heard you, I said. Now hear me. I paid the check and stood. She followed me out to the street, the heat still heavy at dusk. The drive home was quiet except for the turn signal clicking at lights. Inside the house, she packed a small duffel with a speed that told me she had thought about this before. At the door, she turned, chin lifted. Delete any photos or videos. Whatever you took last night. I didn't record you, I said. I didn't need to. She frowned. Then what do you want? I want to be done repeating the same talk. I reached into the console and held up a glossy fob. Also, congratulations, Jenna. You're getting a brand new car. Her eyes widened. You're buying me a car? Already did, I said. Picked it up at 3 this afternoon. She didn't reach for the fob at first. She looked from my face to the small metal logo and back again. I tossed it. Reflex caught it. The chrome blinked under the porch light. It's parked 2 blocks over, I said. Didn't want the delivery to tip you off. Confusion softened into something else, then a smile started to form. You're serious. As a heart attack. We walked the oak-lined block together, not touching. The street smelled like warm wood and cut grass. When we turned the corner, the car sat there in midnight blue, still wearing the temp tag. She ran her hand along the hood, as if it were silk and air at the same time. Why do this if you're angry? She asked, voice low. Because I'm done repeating myself. I opened the driver door and gestured. Go on. Sit. She slid into the seat and inhaled the new car smell. Her shoulders eased. Mark, I leaned in calm. Here's what you don't know yet. The title and financing are in my LLC. Insurance is in my name. Telematics are live. If this car leaves a 3-mile radius around our house after 9 p.m., it shuts off. If it sits in a hotel lot more than 20 minutes, I get an alert, and so does the insurer. If any card of mine pays for fuel, the transaction declines. Her smile thinned. That's control. That's boundaries. I'm not your wallet anymore. She stared at the dash. The screen glowed with a soft welcome graphic. She pressed her lips together like she wanted to argue and couldn't find the right start. Outside, the neighbor's wind chime clicked twice in a faint breeze. Delete any photos, she said again, quieter. Don't make this worse. I told you, I said. I didn't record you. I don't need the internet to know I was there. I need my own head to be clear. She looked at the house down the block, then back at me. So what is this? Some lesson? It's a mirror, I said. You wanted excitement. I built guardrails. You said I didn't listen. I listened. I just stopped paying for my own disrespect. She reached for the start button. That's the part you don't see, I said. The plan already started. I shut the door. She pressed the brake and tapped the button. The engine woke with a quiet hum, but the cluster showed a simple message: driver, guest. She frowned and tapped through menus. The seat stayed manual. The speed limit icon showed a hard cap at 25 miles per hour. Drive mode locked to eco. Radio defaulted to traffic updates. She looked at me through the window. I could read it in her eyes, even from outside. This felt petty to her. It wasn't. It was precise. It was finally matched to the shape of what I was willing to carry. We drove back to the house at the slow pace the car allowed. She parked at the curb and stared straight ahead, like she could concentrate her way into a different outcome. I walked to the passenger side and opened the door. I'm not your enemy, I said. I'm just done being the safety net you jump on while you cut the ropes. She stepped out and clicked the fob in her palm. The lights blinked once. In the entryway, I set a manila envelope on the console table. She saw it and went still. What's that? She asked. Boundaries in writing, I said. Her jaw worked. You're ending us. I'm ending the version of us that you wrote without me. The air in the house felt cooler than outside. I could hear the refrigerator fan, the tick of the hallway clock, the small sounds of a place that had held our life like cupped hands. I picked up the envelope and held it to her. She didn't take it, so I placed it on the table beside her purse and spoke as plain as I could. You'll want to read it, and you'll want to know the part that comes next. She stared at me. Then she reached for the start button in her mind, as if this night could still turn around. The infotainment chimed and showed what I knew it would. Driver, guest. Seat adjustments locked. Speed is hard capped at 25. Drive mode is stuck in eco. Radio tuned to traffic. My phone buzzed with a silent alert. Guest driver activated. This is a joke, Jenna said. No, I said. It's a mirror. I held out the manila envelope. Inside were separation papers drafted that afternoon, accounts unlinked, a list of items she could take, and a simple pickup schedule. Calm. Clean. Final. Her voice thinned. Delete all of this. The car, the papers. We can fix us. I stepped back from the open door and let the night air fill the space between us. I did fix something, I said. I fixed myself. A week passed. The house felt too clean. Her shoes were gone, but her perfume lingered in the closet like a memory that refused to go. The blue car sat in the driveway under the oak, its temp tag aging day by day. She moved into a friend's downtown apartment and posted bright selfies about a fresh start. I didn't reply. I didn't like or comment. I turned off the sounds that used to pull me back into her orbit. 2 weeks later, on a Tuesday at 9:10 a.m., I was in a team meeting when my phone buzzed 3 times, then 6. My insurance app flagged. Vehicle geofence violation, hotel zone. A second later, a text from a mutual friend. You seeing this? I opened Instagram. There was Jenna, champagne glass up, tagging the Austin Marquis Hotel. Caption: when you upgrade your life, everything gets smoother. Comments rolled in, Queen energy. He fumbled. The usual gloss. I leaned back in my chair and let the screen cool in my hand. 10 minutes later, my server dashboard lit up with a quiet line of text. Vehicle system disabled. The car had rolled into the Marquis valet lane and settled like a phone at 1%. This wasn't revenge. This was a boundary doing exactly what it promised to do. Security footage later showed her arguing with the valet, then pacing by the fountain, then calling me. I watched my phone ring. I let it buzz twice and then answered. Mark, what is this? My car won't move. Because it isn't your car, I said. You can't just check the fine print on your guest profile. You wanted independence. That comes with responsibility. She hung up. I set the phone face down and stared at the blank conference room wall. I felt many things, sadness for what we had, relief for what I had left, and underneath that, a steady, quiet peace. The system I built didn't run on anger. It ran on rules that matched my values. That afternoon, I took a walk around the block. The sun sat high, The sidewalks baked, sprinklers hissed. Back at the house, the blue car was back in the driveway, towed home by the company I had on speed dial. It sat like a sealed envelope. No noise. No drama. 2 days later, another alert. A DM from one of her friends linked me to a TikTok. Jenna stood beside the blue car, doing a bubbly review of her new luxury ride. She had edited out the part where I gave her the keys. She smiled at the camera and talked about freedom. The comments noticed the sticker on the window. Why does the name say Mark T. LLC ownership? Girl, that's not your car. The video numbers climbed. By Friday, it crossed 200,000 views. Her account went private. Ours wasn't. The local gossip subreddit made a post. Woman flexes ex's car, gets shut down in valet lane. I didn't post it, and I didn't stop it. That night, she called again. Teary. Rough around the edges. You humiliated me. Everyone's laughing. No, I said. You humiliated us when you turned our lives into a show. The camera finally told the truth. She ended the call. I placed my phone in the drawer and closed it. The house felt quiet in a new way, like it was learning my heartbeat again. In mid-October, I started seeing someone. Her name is Melissa. She reads a lot, laughs in a way that makes other people relax, and brews coffee at home because she likes the process. On a cool evening, we were cooking together when my phone buzzed. Voicemail. Jenna. I let it finish and then played it on the speaker, softly. Mark. I'm sorry. I lost the job. The apartment. Diego's gone. He was using me for rides. I can't even sell the car because it's not mine. I don't know what to do. I let it end. Melissa watched my face and asked, gently, X. Yeah, I said. You going to call her back? No. We finished chopping vegetables. The kitchen filled with the warm smell of garlic and onions. I stepped out to the driveway while the pan hissed. The oak above the car had started dropping leaves. They settled on the windshield like small brown hands. Peace, I thought. It doesn't arrive with a parade. It arrives when you stop arguing with what already happened. A week later, I sold the car through the company. Got a good price. I used the money for a down payment on a condo closer to downtown. New keys, new elevator beeps, new morning light through different blinds. I moved the last box in on a Saturday and slept like the bed finally fit my shape. Jenna sent one final email that month. I know I hurt you. I hope someday you forgive me. I typed one sentence back. I already did, just not for you. I meant it. Forgiveness, for me, was the act of dropping the rope. I wasn't handing her comfort. I was reclaiming mine. The gossip slowed. The DMs thinned out. People in our circle found other things to talk about. I watched less, read more, took longer walks with Melissa, and learned how to cook a decent risotto. The car was gone. The guest profile was gone. The old house smelled like paint and someone else's candles. The condo smelled like fresh coffee and clean laundry. One night, I scrolled back to the El Naranjo charge and stared at the amount. It felt like a receipt for a life I didn't live anymore. I archived it and deleted a folder of screenshots I had saved on habit. It felt good, like taking out trash on a warm evening and hearing the bin lid thud shut. In small ways, karma did the rest. Jenna's friends unfollowed. The hotel clip kept popping up in joke compilations and then faded like any other online spark. I didn't feed it. I didn't starve it. I just let it pass. If there is a moment when a chapter ends, it was the morning I found the blue fob at the back of a junk drawer. I turned it in my hand, felt the smooth weight, and then dropped it into the box marked electronic recycling. They think it was ordinary and final. I went to the balcony with my coffee and watched the city move. Buses hissed, bikes clicked past, and a runner tied a shoe. I wasn't happy yet. I was steady. Sometimes that's the step before happy. 9 months after the night in the parking lot, I had stopped checking Jenna's pages. I sold the old house and leaned into quiet routines. Melissa and I got engaged on a small hill at sunset with no audience. We were at a downtown cafe on a Saturday at 2:45 p.m., the place where Jenna and I used to sit years ago. Warm light, cinnamon in the air, a soft murmur from tables. I picked up our coffees and turned toward the door. A laugh drifted from the line. Familiar, but thinner. I looked up and there she was. Same golden hair, just duller. Baggy hoodie. No makeup. Phone screen cracked. She saw me and stopped. Mark. Hey, Jenna. She looked at Melissa, then back at me. You look different. Yeah, I said. Happier. She swallowed. Can we talk? 5 minutes. Melissa squeezed my arm. I'll get our drinks to the table, she said. Her voice held no worry. That kind of trust is rare. Jenna and I stepped outside. The sun hit her face and showed the long nights beneath her eyes. I didn't come to cause trouble, she said. I wanted to say you were right. I waited. I thought Diego cared, she said. After the hotel video, he drifted off. I tried to get my old job back, but people talk. I picked up night shifts at a diner. I lost the apartment. I kept telling myself I was the main character in some comeback. Turns out I was just someone who made a lot of bad choices. I let the words sit. Street noise rolled by. A bike bell rang. I replay that night, she said. The car. The dinner. The way you didn't yell. You just ended it. That hit harder than any shout. You ended it, I said. I accepted it faster than you expected. She nodded. You're right. I deserved the consequences. I saw your engagement post. She seems kind. She is. Do you love her? She loves me without keeping score, I said. That's all I ever wanted. She looked down and managed a small, tired smile. I used to think control was power. Now I know peace is harder to live without. I thought that was it. We went back inside. Melissa slid my cup over and touched my hand under the table. Life felt simple again. A week later, an envelope showed up at my office. No return address. My name in handwriting I knew. Inside was a short note and a photo. Mark, I sold my last jewelry to pay off debts. I'm leaving Austin next week to start over. No social media. No pretending. I kept this picture because it's the only time I remember being truly happy, not because of what we had, but who you were. Jay. The photo was from the state fair. Cotton candy, sun, two people laughing like the future was a smooth road. I felt no heat in my chest, only distance. I folded the letter and put it in a drawer. 6 months passed. Wedding plans, small joys, quiet nights. A ping from LinkedIn, Jenna T, started a new position in Chicago. A simple headshot. Plain bio. No glitter, no poses. Maybe her karma wasn't punishment. Maybe it was humility. On the morning of my wedding, an email came in. I wanted to wish you happiness. I'm not coming. Thank you for teaching me that silence can be louder than revenge. No drama. No tug on the line. Just a clean cut. I put the phone face down. Music swelled. Doors opened. Melissa walked toward me, steady as light across water. The path in front of me looked clear in a way it hadn't in years.